Oh no, the economy is over, the sky is falling, right? We look at the situation to see if you missed the boat on moving right here to Louisville, Kentucky. Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Neal Cox with Judah Real Estate Group right here in Louisville, Kentucky. On the Living in Louisville, Kentucky channel, we've been putting together videos all about our great city of Louisville. Get it right. We're putting out new videos each week. You want to make sure to subscribe, press below so that you'll get all of the new content, but take it a step further, click the little bell and you'll get notified when we post a new video right here on the Living in Louisville, Kentucky channel. Take it one step further. If you're one of those guys that are thinking of moving right here to Louisville, get out your phone. You can call us, text us, email us, or even sound the bugle, because we would love to help you make a very smooth move to Louisville, Kentucky. So, yes, we are experiencing increases in interest rates as we talk. If you're expecting a 2008 style crash in the housing market, I have some news. The conditions that led to that crash in the housing sector are not at all similar to what's happening right now. That's good news. You've got all kinds of people still trying to win the same small set of houses that are available at any time, and that supply and demand, in my opinion, is going to make it very hard to completely crash the economy. A lot of people I've talked to, especially locally, have said, you know, you're going to have, rather than that sharp rise in prices, it's going to mellow out a little bit. If you get your news from a large cable network, you're always going to hear the doom and gloom. Almost always. Louisville is not a coastal city. We're not an enormous city. So the effects of the overall economy on our housing market are not quite the same, even in 2008. You know, yes, we felt it. It just wasn't as wild as you would think based on the talking heads on TV. We're not the same here as the rest of the country. Real estate is local, and that's always true. So in order to get the real local scoop, I sat down with local mortgage lender Jason Lawrence of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Check it out. All right, is the sky falling? That's what everyone wants to know. I get questions about what the market and interest rates are doing. It is my opinion that getting your local real estate news from national news is kind of tough because there's a lot of trends that happen locally that people don't talk about. So I came to Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation to talk to lender Jason Lawrence. He's great, by the way, if you do end up getting a mortgage. But he works with these rates daily. And so we wanted to kind of give you, from local experts in the field, what's really happening. So Jason, what are we looking at now?
Sure. Well, first, to be compliant, let me give out my MLS number.
Absolutely.
52494. You know, as you know, I mean, rates have, you know, they've definitely increased over the last week, especially. You know, this year they've increased, you know, more than what was expected for the entire year, by far. You know, are they going to continue to go up? Probably. You know, hopefully not as drastic as what they have. You know, that's not expected anymore at this point. But they may still rise slightly.
And so now, in the middle of June 2022, your market rate, you know, if you've got perfect credit, if you're putting 20% down a conventional loan, you're going to be somewhere around where?
We're going to be in the sixes at this point.
Okay.
30-year fix is definitely pushed into sixes. You know, it sat in the fives there for a few months, and then this past week did go into the sixes.
Okay. And that's in comparison to like a year ago, maybe in the threes even.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
So historically, though, these are not outrageous, right?
They're not. I mean, overall, you know, when I first got into business, we were refinancing people down from 11 and 12% down to 6.75, and they loved it. Like that was a great deal.
Well, and if you look historically, this being in the sixes takes you back to more the early 2000s. Were people still buying homes then?
They were. People were always buying homes. Got to have somewhere to live, right?
Yep. And you said that you expect rates to maybe rise too, meaning that if you're wanting to move to buy a home, if you're going to get a mortgage, it probably makes sense to act now instead of waiting.
Definitely. I mean, we have people that 6 months ago said they were going to wait until the rates dropped, and obviously they really regret it at this point.
Yeah.
And I think people will feel the same way that decide not to buy right now. And wait another few months. I think they'll feel the same way. I wish they would have gotten in now.
And I bet you hear it. I hear it from time to time. Well, we're going to wait for the market to crash, right? So that prices come down. The inventory situation means that just is not likely at this point. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. I mean, in this area, yes, prices have increased, but we were due for prices to increase. Over several years, they really hadn't increased at a rapid pace. And so at this point, even with higher rates, we expect the increase to slow down. So we don't expect, home prices to keep shooting up. But we also don't expect home prices to decrease either.
Right.
They'll probably level off a little, stop increasing. But like I said, people that are waiting on the bubble to burst, I mean, this is not what we went through, back in the, 2008, 2009. This is completely different because that's when you had foreclosures. There were people that were approved for loans that couldn't afford the houses, whereas that hasn't been the case over the last several years.
You had houses across the country sitting empty.
Oh, yeah.
Where
definitely.
now...
Right, and it was due to the type of loan at the time. There were people approved that should not have been approved. Their rates adjusted. For the last several years, people do fixed rates. People are not, we're not putting homes that they can't afford. So we don't have that same type of bubble. So we definitely don't expect the home prices to decrease.
That's excellent. It would be catastrophic if the bottom fell out of the market again. I just don't see that happening. And the alternative to buying is renting, right?
Right.
What's the interest rate when you rent?
Interest is 100%.
100%
when you're renting, and you're still paying a mortgage. You're just paying someone else's mortgage.
And their mortgage might be a little higher, pushing rates higher, or rent higher.
That's exactly the case.
So, and I see it all the time where someone's renting and we get with you for a quote for a comparable living situation that they purchased, and their payment ends up being far less.
Oh, the payment should definitely be less, when you buy versus rent. I mean, especially for the last several years because, rent is high now.
Yeah. And with rent, you're paying the landlord directly for the servicing the HVAC, for replacing the roof, for all that stuff. And you do have to do that in your own home.
Right.
But that's on your own time and your own budget.
Right, exactly.
So I would say the sky is not falling, although things are definitely changing.
Right.
The market, a lot of people got frustrated in the past couple of years because they were in multiple offer situations. They were not the winners, sometimes multiple times. It may get easier now.
It should get easier for buyers. People are still buying homes, but this will push some buyers either down in price, or it may cause people to decide not to buy, which right or wrong, there's people that's going to decide not to buy. So it should definitely get easier for buyers to actually get their offers accepted at this point.
Yeah, and you've got people with life-changing situations, people downsizing, people even unfortunately passing away. Homes will be bought and sold over the next infinity, really.
I mean, everyone needs a place to live. There's constantly, like you said, families expanding. People graduating college, entering the workforce. Time to buy a home. It's much better than renting.
Yeah. So don't freak out too much. Do your homework. Do your research. Don't get your news from over sensationalized hype pushing the scary narrative.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all, and we'll see you out there. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helps put things in perspective a little bit for what's going on here locally in Louisville, Kentucky. This market is, it's complicated, it's complex, it's hard to navigate without somebody working in it daily. That's usually true, but it's especially true now and has been for the last couple years. There's a lot to know. This market is not for the faint of heart, but you can find a gem right now. Let us know what else you'd like to see here on the Living in Louisville, Kentucky channel. Leave us a comment below. Let us know. We'd love to post stuff that is informative for you. Just suggest it. And of course, subscribe below and click the little bell so that you can get notified when we post a new video. And as always, if you're one of the many people out there thinking of making a move to our great city, Louisville, Kentucky, email us, call us, text us, or of course, sound the bugle. We are going to get off to the races to make your move to Louisville, Kentucky a great one.